Good morning, Deliverance City. This is Buzz Shipmann, 68.8 DELI FM. Quick update from the Deliverance traffic copter. Looks like Radix Road is still backed up. No surprise there. They've been promising to widen it for 2 years, to no avail. In other news, Delay Street has collapsed again, but don't worry. Deliver Avenue is open, smooth, and fee-free, just like your Radix wallet. You're listening to 68.8. Enjoy the show.
DELI FM 68.8. Smooth tunes and fast deliveries.
Feeling stuck in life? Is your crypto investment feeling stagnant like Radix's price? Then you need Hyperscale Cream. Just one application and you'll be scaling infinitely. Results expected within a decade. Side effects include optimism, patience, a red dick, and occasional disappointment.
You're locked into DELI FM 68.8, the station your mother warned you about and your dad secretly listens to.
Alright, quick note from our warehouse manager, DELI. The cargo door is jammed again, and 3 NFT boxes are missing. DELI says that if anyone sees James or Crypto Soundy walking around, tell them this isn't a buffet, and kindly escort them back to their private whale tanks. Thank you. Next up, we got Phil Ledger with a beautiful piece that I really like to listen to when I'm down in the fucking dumps. This is Buzz Shipmann with DELI FM. Enjoy.
You're dialed to DELI FM. So good it should be illegal. It probably is.
piece by Phil Ledger, one of the only whales left in the ecosystem. But here's a bit of news, folks. Just got word from City Council. Dan Hughes Park is officially delayed again. Shocking, right? Mayor Ridgeard said, "You're still early, folks, but not for long." Obviously, as a community, we stopped believing that line a long time ago. Well, depending on the community sentiment, of course, which matters a lot for some reason. So here's a little musical piece to soothe that sentiment right down. This is Jim Lockerton with I Sharded. Let's listen in.
You're listening to DELI FM. Shipping music to disappoint your parents by.
Buzz Shipman here, 68.8. As you know, folks, all 5,000 DELI boxes have sold out in under just 2 weeks. If you missed out, tough luck. You'd have to beg or borrow or bribe your way onto Trove. And hey, once Trove Pro is live, you can trade these boxes like a caffeinated raccoon flipping trash lids. Because you know, who needs life savings when you can have a cardboard box with attitude? And by the way, XR DJing is apparently opening soon, so finally a place to trade your worthless, priceless pieces of art in peace, you know? And the creators will get paid for that, so that's good. That's very good. That's really good.
DELI FM, home of infinite scalability. As soon as we figure out what that means.
All right, folks, time for your daily weather update in Deliverance, Kansas, the city of your fucking dreams. Expect scattered showers of optimism this morning, followed by strong gusts of disappointment coming straight from the Radix HQ. Clear skies by evening, though. Perfect weather to sit back and watch your portfolio float gently towards 1 cent, possibly. Stay tuned for more. But for now, let's listen to Wally Paperhands with this bossa nova piece.
Attention Deliverance residents. Hungry for gains? Stop by the Babylon Bistro, home of the Ridyard Special, a burger so promising you'll think it's going places, but somehow ends up leaving a bad taste in your mouth. Now available for just under 1 cent.
All right, and word on the street is that the mayor is praising Deliver for that sold-out NFT run. Meanwhile, folks are still pissed off that we can't keep half the roads from caving in. And to that I say this, if the city wants to fund maintenance, maybe next time they should mint more deli boxes.
DELI FM 68.8. Just shut up and listen.
This is Buzz Shipman with DELI FM 68.8. We got some news from residents on Main Street reporting Cheese Deli 2017 has been spotted chasing local pets again. Authorities suggest keeping your furry friends indoors or risk finding cheese crumbs all over your yard. Animal Control claims Cheese Deli responds well to cheddar but strongly dislikes Swiss cheese. Plan your traps accordingly. Stay tuned for more. Folks, a quick update from DELI, our beloved office manager and reluctant warehouse supervisor. Another shipment got delayed. Apparently, the forklift gains sentience overnight and refuses to move crates until XRD hits 2 cents. Sounds reasonable to me. Hang in there, buddy.
This next tune is brought to you by our good friends at Delay Begone Spray. Just one spritz of your favorite Radix developer and watch deadlines magically reappear. Effectiveness may vary depending on developers' optimism levels. Use caution when spraying and keep away from Piers Ridyard.
DELI FM. Better than sax sometimes.
folks, we got a little job opportunity alert. Radix HQ urgently needs someone experienced in managing expectations. Qualifications include infinite patience and a good poker face. Apply in person only and bring your own optimism. You're tuned in to 68.8 DELI FM and enjoy this next piece. Folks, you're tuned in to DELI FM 68.8. Buzz Shipmann here. Don't miss tonight's community screening at Deliverance Cinema featuring the hit documentary Waiting for Radix. Critics say it's incredibly realistic and painfully relatable. The popcorn is on James, so make sure to show up, get cozy, and have some fun.
You're listening to DELI FM. We don't give a either.
This next beautiful piece of music is by Randy Scalebottom. Stay tuned in. certainly a beautiful piece of music. This is Buzz Shipmann here. That's S-H-I-P. P for penis. Got a bit of news from the city again. Reports of liquid DELI 2318 causing mischief again, this time sneaking into coffee cups and scaring office workers across town. Authorities urge caution. Check your drinks before sipping. Local coffee shops are now offering lids marked DELI proof to prevent further beverage-related chaos. More on that later. Or not.
DELI FM 68.8. Smooth tunes and fast deliveries.
The next 5 minutes is sponsored by Shardwell Vitamins. Guaranteed to boost your scalability. Now available in gummies. Choose between strawberry, vanilla, and cum. Available in the local store near you.
Oh, you won't believe it, folks. We got a tech news update. Radix developers proudly announced they've finally finished planning to start planning the next big thing. They also confirmed plans to hold meetings about future meetings, drafting potential deadlines that are flexible enough to move with the wind. Well, keep your spirits high and expectations moderate. This could take a while, but it's happening. 68.8. This is Buzz Shipmann. Check this one out. Here's a little event reminder for you folks. Don't forget the Saturday's community barbecue at DELI Park. Bring your appetite, optimism, maybe a tent, just in case the renovations take longer than planned. Activities include the annual Optimism Relay Race, of course, pin the tail on the developer, and a raffle to guess the exact launch date of the GN upgrade. And the winner gets eternal bragging rights. Isn't that great? This is Buzz Shipman. Stay tuned to 68.8.
You're dialed to DELI FM. It's so good it should be illegal. It probably is.
Today's NFT spotlight is on Platinum Boy. That's DELI number 3418. Sure, he's rocking dual platinum traits, but he's not even the rarest DELI out there. Rumor has it, James has him framed next to his locked-away 31% token supply. But we won't know until someone checks that. This is Buzz Shipman, and you're tuned in to 68.8, the only radio Deliverance needs. Let's dive in. Got some breaking news from downtown Deliverance. Galaxy DELI number 3505 has floated off into space yet again. Local astronomers suggest tethering your Galaxy-themed DELIs firmly to prevent unexpected celestial adventures like this. Last seen near the constellation of Delays, local kids are now selling Galaxy DELI sightings as collectible trading cards. So, might want to avoid that in the future. This is Buzz Shipman. Stay tuned for more.
DELI FM, home of infinite scalability. As soon as we figure out what that means.
looking to unload those NFTs gathering digital dust? Head on down to Radix Square, Radix's premium and only slightly abandoned NFT marketplace. Sure, delights flicker, and nobody's dusted since November 2021. But people swear by it. Bring your delis, leave with regrets. Just make sure to ignore the other deli collection that's in there for some reason. Radix Square, where every NFT tells a story, mostly cautionary.
All right, folks, we got a little lost and found alert. Our manager Deli misplaced his sanity somewhere recently between the warehouse and the 5,000th NFT shipment. The reward offered is payment in slightly dusty deliver tokens. So if you've seen it, please call 0800 Suck My Chode. This is Buzz Shipman, and you're listening to DELI FM. Now for a little beautiful jazz piece by Barry Bullish. This was Barry Bullish with Come on My Wallet. And now for our market minute. The price of the liver is steadily climbing towards a mighty 100K market cap, almost enough for James to consider buying a third yacht. Meanwhile, delay token holders just gathered for their annual investors meeting, and all 7 of them agreed that things are going pretty well. And here's a little bossa nova piece by Barry Shardwell. And stay tuned for more on DELI FM.
You're locked into DELI FM 68.8, the station your mother warned you about and your dad secretly listens to.
Beautiful piece of music. In a bit of news right now, we got Eco Deli 0033 has begun protesting on site Deliverance City Hall again, demanding the immediate implementation of reusable packing tape. Officials say that they're taking the demand seriously, kind of. The current situation is this deli has reportedly chained itself to the flagpole and is composting aggressively until action is taken. The authorities are on the scene. We'll let you know how the situation evolves. Meanwhile, check out this beautiful piece by Phil Ledger, and I'll talk to you after.
GN Auto Repair. Engine troubles get you feeling sharded? Visit GN Auto Repair, home of the patented Cerberus engine tune-up. Our mechanics promise linear scalability to your speedometer, unless you drive on Radix Road, of course. GN Auto Repair, because infinite scalability shouldn't stop at your blockchain.
You're listening to DELI FM. Shipping music to disappoint your parents by.
This is Buzz Shipman 68.8. Attention movie lovers, the annual Deliverance Film Festival kicks off in just a week, featuring local classics like Gone with the Wallet, and this time, the critically acclaimed drama Citizen Dan. Rumor has it Wonder Woman and Randy Marsh might attend, but we're just gonna have to wait and see until Radix hits $17 at least. Get your tickets at deliverxrd.com. Now back into the music. Here's a little beautiful piece by Miles Sharpstrong called Scaling the Blues. Let's listen in. Folks, bit of a breaking news here. A local zoo update. Our favorite mascot animal duo, Hug, the green blob, and Red Dix, the red dick, have escaped again. Witnesses say they've headed towards the astralescent aggregator. Luckily, the zookeepers are following a trail of red sauce and Hugs to track them down. The recent scoop is that they shouldn't have gotten far. So stay tuned. We'll be telling you more about that on 68.8. A friendly reminder from Deliverance Health Services. If you've been waiting for Radix's Xeon upgrade longer than you've been waiting for your coffee, you might want to switch to decaf. Your heart rate will thank you. You can say that again.
DELI FM 68.8. Just shut up and listen.
This is Buzz Shipman 68.8. And here's a little soothing piece for your soul or your dick.
Planning a big move? Trust Delay Away. Delay Away Movers. Unlike other services, we promise to get your stuff delivered quicker than the Radix Roadmat update. With Delay Away, your belongings won't vanish for more than a decade. Mention DELI FM for a 69% discount.
tuned in to 68.8. This is Buzz Shipman. The Deliverance's controversial Pierce Ridyard statue is finally coming down. The city voted unanimously to replace it with a much smaller, slightly less disappointing statue of DELI. Locals say it will do more for Radix's image than Pierce ever did. What do you think? As usual, text us the answer at 1-800-BIG-SHARDS.com.
DELI FM 68.8. Smooth tunes and fast deliveries.
This is Buzz Shipman with DELI FM. In local sports, the annual Deliver Marathon ended dramatically today, with every runner mysteriously stopping exactly 68.8% into the race. The organizers blame confusing tokenomics, but the participants say it just felt right. Either way, there were no winners, but everybody's still early, so that's good. 68.8 DELI FM. We got a health warning issued recently. Toxic Deli 1486 accidentally dripped hazardous goo on Radix Road, causing way more delays than there used to be. Cleanup crews are currently debating who has to deal with the mess this time. Witnesses say the goo glows brighter when near delayed projects, so it's practically lighting up the entire town right now. If you can avoid that area, please do. This is Buzz Shipman. Stay tuned for more news later.
You're locked into DELI FM 68.8, the station your mother warned you about and your dad secretly listens to.
All right, folks, quick community announcement here. Deliverance Library just received copies of Dan Hughes' newest thriller, The Hyperscale Tales, Almost There. Critics rave a masterpiece of suspense. Will they deliver? Won't they? Who knows? Spoiler, probably not yet. This is Buzz Shipman, and you're tuned in to DELI FM.
Ever wake up in a panic because your package is on Delay Street? Fear not. At Deliver, we cut through traffic jams like a forklift through wet cardboard. Sure, our cargo door might get stuck now and then, but who needs perfection when you have a f***ing green box for a mascot? Deliver. We deliver, sort of.
Buzz Shipman, 68.8. Bit of a community bulletin here. Some poor soul tried tweeting at peers for a comment on the new XR DJ Marketplace, but he's still ghosted until this minute. Meanwhile, Dan Hughes is busy wrangling his in-house dev team, and the rumor says leaner and meaner. Let's just hope it's not so lean that we can't get a f***ing dark mode in the wallet. My eyes really hurt, dude.
You're dialed to DELI FM. It's so good it should be illegal, and probably is.
You know what? Speaking of the wallet, here's something I genuinely applaud. Have you tried the Radix mobile wallet lately? It's ridiculously easy to use, crystal clean on every transaction, and the fees are so tiny you'll feel like you're getting away with a crime. Seriously, fractions of a penny per swap. I've spent more on gum wrappers. I think sometimes, just sometimes, hype is real, okay? And we know something about hype. We are Deliver. Or we deliver. DELI FM 68.8.
listening to DELI FM. Shipping music to disappoint your parents by.
Got a couple of warehouse whispers here. Rumor has it DELI found a forklift wearing a Parted with RDXW t-shirt in the warehouse. The forklift refused to comment. Maybe it's too busy earning fraction of a penny fees on the side. But with all these breakups, you would think we'd see at least one sappy romance flick. But no, just another day in the blockchain swamp. I love that song by, forgot his name. I got a bit of an infrastructure update here for you. City Council wants to rename Delay Street after reading A Fork in the Road, the article. They're thinking Soon Boulevard or maybe Next Quarter Avenue. Let's be honest, no matter the name, it'll end in traffic. And more on current traffic at 6 on DELI FM.
DELI FM, home of infinite scalability. As soon as we figure out what that means.
And now a little sports update. Last night's matchup at Deliverance Park was a roller coaster, folks. The Deliverance Deliverers took on the Hyperscale Hounds in a 9-inning slugfest that ended in a classic Radix style. Big promises, bigger errors, and a final score of 9-8 in the 10th inning. Nobody's quite sure how that happened. Our star pitcher for the Deliverers, MFA Mike, balked his way into extra innings with a 7-1 Varsity Jacket sophomore year college spring break high school tailgate hot dog locker room at the prom night baseball drive-through root beer corn dog football.
Shipmann's Cream and Cream. This sweet, sweet ice cream is a meltdown in a cone. One lick and you'll never want a short again. Shipmann's Cream and Cream. Lick it or get the f*** out. Try the all-new blue cheese flavor.
Buzz Shipmann here, 68.8. Visitors to the Deliverance Farmers Market were in for a surprise. Free forklift rides courtesy of the city. Why a forklift at Farmers Market, you ask? Well, we did ask the newly hired town's logistics manager. Apparently, we're optimizing the supply chain of fresh radishes and overpriced coffee beans. Locals report the forklift occasionally stops mid-lift to mutter something about Dan's parted ways before continuing. The city council insists it's just part of the immersive produce experience. So whenever you have time, check it out.
DELI FM 68.8. Just shut up and listen.
Buzz Shipmann 68.8. Bit of a strange phenomenon reported in East Deliverance last night. Multiple Delhi NFT boxes apparently took to the streets after dark. Witnesses described them as wandering, fully sentient lumps of cardboard protesting their locked token supply, which doesn't really make sense, does it? City Hall is investigating, but until they figure it out, a 10 p.m. curfew is in effect for all boxes. And it makes sense, sometimes those things cause more chaos than a Cerberus white paper at a middle school career day, so definitely better to stay away. This is Buzz Shipmann, 68.8 DELI FM. Let's keep it going. That's it. That's a beautiful piece of music right there. Buzz Shipmann 68.8. City officials have announced a new tourism campaign called Deliverance, We're Still Here. They promise neon signs, inflatable Delhi mascots, and half a mile of lean and mean highway expectations to lure the unexpecting travelers. Naturally, the expansions are behind schedule, so for now the road leads nowhere. Sort of a perfect metaphor for, well, everything around here. But at least we've got these beautiful tunes. Here's one right now. This one's called Radix Will Never Hit 60 Cents Again. Let's listen in.